Hi, everyone. Welcome to the latest of the Overboard Network of Below Deck podcast. We're back with season 3 of episode 9 of Sailing Yacht, titled Tensions High, Patience Low. In this week's episode, Gabby tries to make amends, Ashley acts exactly how you think she would, and Glenn sails, much to Daisy's dismay. We also reveal the fan-voted best Below Deck season of all time. As always, you can email us at belowdeckpod@gmail.com to submit life advice questions you have. Let's bring in my co-host, Sean. I feel like we've got a lot of interior drama to deal with here in this episode, but let's start with Gary, where the episode starts. Were you worried we may lose Gary for a part or the rest of the season here?
Based on his reaction, yes. Jen, I had a coworker who used to work with for a while where anytime anyone hurt themselves at work, like just like something small, like cut themselves or whatever, he would always say like, you might lose a hand. And I wish like Colin said that to Gary, like, hey man, bad news, that hand's gonna come off,
gone.
man. It's you're gonna lose it. It's infected. No, I've never seen Gary act that way because he's like,
No.
He's not super in control of his emotions, but he usually like he's just good on deck and he's tough. He can work when he's hungover and everything. Like he's usually not like a baby on deck and like that killed. I'm sure that killed. Everyone's done it before. Everyone's jammed their finger before. And yeah, when that nail gets dark, it really is brutal. But yeah, he had to go to bed.
Yeah, I know. What did you think about when they stuck the needle in to try to relieve the pressure? I immediately thought that's a bad idea. And then it turns out that might be a good idea. I don't know. It worked, but it definitely opens you up to like infection and stuff, especially when you're on a boat like that, right?
Yeah, I think that's why they had that. Was that like that wasn't a needle? What was that?
I think it was a needle. I mean, they heated it up, but
they heated it up. Does it kill the bacteria?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. They put a letter in a needle and then poked it, and all the blood. I hate seeing blood. That was tough.
Yeah, Twitter didn't love it. I tell you that. I was watching the tweets on it. Sean, probably the least surprising thing of all time is there was no incident report filled out.
I know, right?
So I know with Captain, if this was Captain Sandy, she would not only need it filled out, but she would make sure that it got on camera for liability purposes or something. Glenn's just like, whatever, man. Why don't we just stick a needle in it? And that's the difference between Below Deck Med and Below Deck Sailing Yacht.
I forgot about that when who got hurt? David got hurt. And Sandy just screams at Malia. Wow, that feels like a million years ago.
Yeah.
That's. I like how Colin's just in charge of like medical care on this boat.
He's in charge of medical care, sober or drunk.
Yeah.
And he also was the only one driving the wheel. So I knew there was sailing going on this episode. Glenn was not the one doing the sailing at any point. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Sean.
So we agree Gary's going to be okay.
Yeah, Gary's going to be fine. I think if anything, he was very affectionate towards Daisy in this episode. He was flirting hurt, man. You just don't like that guy could have an arm chopped off and he's still going to try to, make a pass at Daisy at any time in a friendly way.
They are great together. I don't know, Daisy just makes fun of him the entire time. What I think she goes like, I don't even hate fuck people, and that's the closest Gary would get to having sex with me. And like, but Gary just like takes in, like starts laughing, and like they're great, man.
They are.
I'm actually kind of rooting for them now. I wasn't sure earlier in the season, like when they first made out, but I don't know. I kind of like it now.
Yeah, I think they're very cute together. Now, Sean, let's get into a little bit more of the meat of the episode. So, this is a very Gabby, Ashley forward episode, which I think has been like the last couple. Ever since Tom left, I feel like they're kind of searching for a storyline. And I think, Gabby starts it off by basically trying to just like make amends with everyone, saying, hey, can we have a fresh start? She goes to Marcos first. And either he doesn't believe in fresh starts or he's trying to give her a hard time. But, I think he gives her some hard truths, but he also gives no indication that he's ready for a fresh start.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He's not really trying to have a conversation with her.
He's not, no, or
And
trying to like just clean slate this.
yeah, he's pretty sure with her the entire episode. I think I thought they're doing a beach picnic. It was just an excursion, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if they made it to the beach.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't. So what? There's kind of like a fruit platter for like the little boat ride.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, when they're like trying to pick out platters, he had no time for her. I mean, I get it. She was pretty mean to him last
Yeah.
episode. Hey, you're stealing Kelsey's screen time. So I get where Gabby was coming from. Like, hey, they stopped interrupting her, but
Yep.
Marcos is like a pretty sincere guy, I think, and he's not Gary. Like, you can't just like make fun of him.
Yeah.
Or
he's a little bit more like emotional, I guess, in the sense that like if you say like he can get hurt easier, I kind of is what the vibe I'm getting from him.
yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
it's harder for him to forgive as well because he gets hurt more. So she's still gonna have to win over Marcos. Someone I think she probably isn't going to be able to win over, nor does she really want to, except that it's just going to make her life a little bit easier, is winning over Ashley. And dude, just did not seem like anything was happening there. Tough watch when, Gabby's just trying to make amends with Ashley here. Ashley wants no part of it. She's just really disrespectful to Gabby.
Yeah. All their scenes were so awkward.
It's so bad
because Ashley's such a brat too.
Yeah.
Every time Gabby every time Gabby radioed Ashley, I think on this charter, we saw it as viewers. And you saw as Ashley roll her eyes and everything. And then like their conversations were just so bad. They went nowhere.
I mean, she goes to the point where doesn't Ashley say off screen? She goes, listen, she basically says she's going to be passive aggressive and non-responsive to Gabby. And that's her boss. He's like, Ashley's resume building is terrible at this point. She's just like, she's basically saying she doesn't respect the role above her. She's going to be passive aggressive to her and non-responsive. And she calls her a twat, which like a word I haven't heard in a long time. It's super offensive. And Sean, I'm not joking when I say this. When Ashley said that, I was like drinking coffee. I spit out my coffee and like started to like choke on it a little bit. Probably ruined the shirt.
You're wearing white too. Oh, no.
Dude, I know you can see it on the screen, but like below is just a disaster right now.
Oh man. Yeah, John, they had a few other scenes too, where Gabby's asking Ashley, like, are you okay? And Ash's just like, yeah, I'm tired. And just she's such a brat. Now, I guess we should mention at the end of last episode, Gabby tells Ashley like kind of she's trying to have a heart to heart with her, like, hey, feel like I'm kind of letting everyone down. Don't like how I'm acting like on nights out and everything. I feel like Daisy can't trust me anymore. And like kind of like I'm feeling pretty low and like I want to leave the boat. And I remember we kind of mentioned this last week, like that's a little weird that she went to Ashley to say that. Yeah. But maybe she's trying to I feel like girls will like say like have like very like deep conversations with other girls they're not even friends with yet to try to like establish something.
Yeah, try like establish
a connection. Guys don't do that. Girls, I think some girls do. And I mean, Ashley just could not wait. As soon as the conversation happened, like she texts Daisy from her bed and was like, can we talk? And it's like, okay, what's this about? And it's like, here's what Gabby told me. Like Gabby wants to leave the boat and hates everyone.
Yeah. So here's the order of operations here is Gabby confides in Ashley says, "Don't tell Daisy." Next scene, Ashley tells Daisy, right? Am I missing anything here? Ashley also says when they're talking about, drinking after the next charter, Ashley says something to the effect that's like, well, Gabby won't drink around us because she says she doesn't like any of us or something like that.
She says
Or she doesn't trust any of us.
Doesn't trust
any. Yeah, which like here's the thing. So Ashley's spreading rumors, and I feel like this is just so toxic. What she's doing is just like ripping the bone apart, trying to make not even herself seem better, maybe make herself seem a little bit more likable. I don't know, but definitely just trying to push down Gabby. And it's one of these things. It's so dumb. It's so uncalled for. And it's not a good look for Ashley, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I think she like twists her words a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember Gabby saying that she couldn't trust anyone on the boat?
I mean, she probably said something to the effect, I think she said like, it takes her a long time to trust people.
Right, yeah.
I think that's what she said. So like, there's definitely some twisting of words here. I mean, listen, I don't have a high opinion of Ashley, but I'm not trying to like make up things to like make her look terrible, but like, that's just not a good look, man.
No. Why? And like, I mean, Daisy sees right through it when they have the conversation. I love how she texts Daisy about it from her bed, like, we need to talk. Yeah. Gabby's like, Gabby wants to leave.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, and I love Daisy just like in a politically correct way, being like, I don't really believe you, but she's like a trust but verify type of thing. She's like, yeah, well, like I can't take you at your word. So I'll talk to Gabby. She doesn't actually even go out of her way to talk to Gabby, it seems like. But Gabby brings it up. So
John, I know Daisy brings this up like his is about like rank, or is this about Gary? What's Ashley's motivation? Is it Gary, or is it becoming the second stew?
I probably think it's about power in both instances, right? So it's always about power, man. So she wants to be second stew so she can boss Gabby around, and because she thinks she's better than Gabby, and then she also thinks she's better than Gabby in whatever department Gary's looking for. So she doesn't understand why Gary would rather snuggle with her. So at the end of the day, it's probably about power, but yeah, it's about all these things, man.
Ash is just accumulating power left and right.
Yeah.
What if it works? What's the expression? Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Sure, man.
She keeps talking to Daisy about, hey, this Gabby person's trying to doesn't trust anyone on the boat, and
yeah.
If Ashley's second stew at the end of the season, we got to tip our cap to her a little bit.
I guess so, but I think the only way she's second stew is if Gabby leaves, because I think Daisy genuinely thinks Gabby's probably a better worker. I think she thinks both of these people are better workers or good workers, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, Ashley just creates drama, and I think Daisy's smart enough to see that, and I think she does throughout this episode.
Yeah, I thought Daisy kind of takes a stray from Gabby later on when Gabby's speaking with Kelsey. By the way, everyone can trust Kelsey.
I think, yeah, she is. What is it? What's the country? Switzerland?
Yeah,
she's Switzerland. She's pretty neutral, but but not in a bad way, because she actually, I feel like whatever Gabby needed when she spoke to Kelsey, she got.
Yeah,
strong episode from Kelsey.
Absolutely, and but yeah, the reason I think like she says like she mentions, hey, I can't really respect a lot of this crew off the clock, which is like that's okay. That's a statement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Ashley. Reason for that. Marcos. They got their own problems, but then she also says she can't get a read on Daisy. I don't know. Like Daisy's been nothing but great to her this entire time.
I think that I think Daisy is also being supportive of Ashley, not at the detriment of Gabby, but just in the sense that like